2015 was a really good year for storytelling in gaming. A couple of great episodic games concluded this year, some excellent indie games came out as usual, and there was even a strong showing from a lot of AAA titles. But in the end, Video Game Our Lives' best story of the year went to Undertale. Yeah, I know. It's the game indie fans of various degrees of insufferability have deemed anything from the greatest game of all time to the second coming of Jesus H. Christ. But you know what? This game deserves its due. The writing was consistently excellent, with quirky art and dialogue belying a complex, thought-provoking overall story arc. I don't want to spoil too much because it's best to come into this game relatively fresh, but basically you play as a human child who falls through a hole and finds themselves in a world of monsters, all of whom will attack humans on sight. Their king is attempting to gather human souls to bring monsters to the surface once more, and only the player can stop him. The premise itself sounds kind of generic on the surface, but I've never seen a game commit to player choice as thoroughly as Undertale has, creating two completely different routes based on whether the player decides to play the game like a typical RPG or use the new mechanics the game introduces. The story is completely intertwined with gameplay, with every encounter having an impact in some way over the course of the narrative. In a longer game, that might be a difficult mechanic to deal with, but Undertale takes about 6.5 hours to beat on the first run, leaving plenty of time to go back and fix things from the beginning depending on the route you want to take. All three endings, are incredibly satisfying in their own way, subverting common game ideas and mechanics that we usually take for granted, and they make us question what sort of impact a player character would have on the world without getting too meta. For those beautifully executed ideas and clever humor, we awarded Undertale Best Story of the Year.